Today we are going to utilize mains 220 volts AC to convert it to DC volts, and then we are going to play around with it. So you have to be very careful when you play around with AC voltage, because AC voltage in some cases can be fatal. So safety first, and do not perform this experiment if you don't have any knowledge of whatsoever we are going to do.
Showing off, don't wanna have to wait tonight.
So the logic behind today's project is very simple. So first we are going to have a transformer. Transformer can be inductive, capacitive or resistive. But today we are just going to use the inductive ones. So once we have converted 220 volts AC to 12 volts AC, then we are going to use a rectifier IC, a capacitor to stabilize it, power MOSFET to adjust it. So all in all, our circuit will look something like this. So pretty simple, right? So let's get to it. So here are all the parts and components that we are going to use. So first one is the transformer, then we have a polarizer, which is also called as rectifier, and rectifier is the most common name for it. So if you want to buy it or something, rectifier is the name that most of people call it. Then we have the stabilizer capacitor, TIP31C power MOSFET, then we have a potentiometer. So we can also use a PWM signal instead of this potentiometer, but that part is not for now. We will talk about all the ICs and other things when we start discussing smart components. Up until now, we have been talking about dumb components. So let's just keep up with that now. So first thing first, I'm going to plug the rectifier IC in the breadboard. So on the AC pins, we're going to attach the output pins of the transformer. And we are going to extend the DC pins of the rectifier to this side of the breadboard, because we are going to add all the DC components on this side of the breadboard. So that way we can easily track the DC and AC part of our circuit. Next, we are going to include the stabilizing capacitor. Make sure the polarity is right. The white stripe here indicates the negative side of the capacitor. And here on the rectifier IC, you can see negative and the positive. Okay, so we have included the capacitor. Now we are going to utilize the TIP31C MOSFET. Now we are going to attach our multimeter on the DC output, and now we are going to plug in the AC power. Now we can see the DC output here. So by varying this potentiometer, we can vary the output voltage. So now I'm going to use this power supply to control the speed of my BLDC motor, and I have added a white tape to see the effect of the speed. And as you can see, it is spinning. Now let's decrease the speed. Now let's increase the speed. So that's it for today, guys, and thank you so much for watching.